Hello, folks. I will try and keep this short and sweet because I've shouted at the camera a few times, so I'll try again. This is my two penneth worth, or pounds worth alone for inflation. I think the title's pretty obvious. Let's get straight to it. Main point, really. It's easy to be cynical. It's easy to be cynical in hindsight. I'm already starting to see the fountain of output of video uploads, comments, debates, whatever, and I'm sure there'll be more later on. It will grow, and I'm sure that the next few days and weeks will be interesting at how this develops from this point, from this decision. But it's easy to be cynical, and it's easy to say things such as that the Scottish people have let us down. They did not begin the domino effect of the independence revolution and all this kind of stuff. And talking about people being naive into thinking that the system would actually let you go, that the system would allow you a yes result. Can you see the wood for the trees? Were you really naive to think that they would not manipulate this vote in the same way that they manipulate every other vote? If they allow you to have a vote, that means they will manipulate it. I take that as a given. I was not under the delusion that this would not be manipulated. But I still encouraged, and I still propagated the yes. So, encouraging people to vote yes, encouraging people to look at the information of why it would be a good thing. But anyway, don't get drawn into that negativity of defeatism. It is a subtle psychological weapon being used against you to make you go back to the slavery. They need you to acquiesce. That is what these kind of votes are about. They want you to accept the business as usual, and that has already started happening. I've heard about how the status quo is already putting little quips out there. They're having their nice little belly laugh. Ha ha ha! The slaves have accepted their debt and slavery. Ha 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 ha! Yeah, that's already started happening. Camelface made a statement outside number 10 earlier today where he said there will be no disputes and no reruns. This is the settled will of the Scottish people. No debates, no reruns. Even though there's already a piling up of evidence of vote manipulation. But there'll be no debate. No, not allowed, not allowed. Quick, we've got the result we want. Run. Interesting as well, the potential pre-programming psychological effect of the polls taken before the actual referendum. The numbers of those polls match pretty well to the actual final result. Curious that, isn't it? How the numbers they suggested it would be are actually what they end up being. Well, their system must be pretty bloody accurate to be able to get those numbers right, and they should apply that system to other things because it's so bloody good. Now, before I get too silly, 97% turnout. Vote manipulation, putting the wrong votes in the wrong part. It's pretty easy to see where that X was, wasn't it? It's either a yes or it's a no. It's pretty easy to see the difference between the two, yet somehow they seem to manage to get those papers mixed up, and more end up on the no side that actually say yes. Curious. No UN observers, even though Scotland is, the home of a nuclear base or nuclear bases and other bits of the nuclear weapon industry, and yet there was no UN observers there to keep an eye on the vote proceedings. Curiouser and curious. You see what I mean about naivety to thinking that they would not manipulate this vote. Of course they would, and that's part of the point. As I mentioned weeks ago, the potentiality of this being used as psychological trickery to give you that sense of defeatism, to implant in you that seed of there's nothing you can do, you can't escape, stop trying to, just put up with it, just accept it, just go back to your drudgery, acquiesce, slave. Put your head down and stop demanding of us. And that's part of the problem, the demanding to the authority. This to me was not about an expectation of by demanding to the authority you were going to get the result you wanted. Of course it wasn't. This was about connecting with the hearts and minds of the people who, genuinely the grassroots people who live in that society, who through their day-to-day effort and work and time make that society what it is. The people in the the political people in Westminster and wherever, they're not the ones that are actually making that society operate on a day-to-day basis. 97% turnout. That means this is reaching people on a grassroots level. This is why I say it will be very interesting to watch how this develops, because it ain't going to stop here. And for those of you that have that seed of defeatism in you because the authority said, you're not allowed to leave. No. If you're in that state of mind, take it as a removal of that calcification, of that naivety of thinking that the authority would actually do what it said it would. Yeah, that they wouldn't break their promises. No. See the wood for the trees. This is not about getting a permission slip from the headmaster to say, okay, you're allowed to leave. Not at all. This was about connecting with the people that genuinely make that society what it is. I'll leave you with a quote. Those who cast the votes decide nothing. Those who count the votes decide everything. Josef Stalin. And remember, as I said, it's very easy to be cynical after the fact and go, I told you so, see, you were appealing to the authority, ha 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 ha. That's not what's going on here. See the wood for the trees, please, people. Anyway, folks, before I start ranting and shouting again, I'm sure I'll rant at you again soon. Take care and keep screaming and shouting.